Where's the list? You were promised justice. You were told that the list would expose them all, right? The pedophiles, the traffickers, the elites that were abusing little girls and young women, that they would finally be held accountable. But here we are in 2025, and suddenly that list, apparently it never existed. Welcome back, everyone. Hola, mi gente. My name is Jannette, and this is When the Shift Hits. Please subscribe, like, and share this video so that I can continue to grow this community. And today, the shift that we're talking about is the shift from promised justice to political cover-up. And let's talk facts because they matter. Back in February of 2025, Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi went on national television and said that the Epstein files were on her desk. Remember that? She said, they're sitting on my desk right now. She claimed that she was reviewing the names and there were some big ones. And she made it sound like transparency was just around the corner. But now you fast forward to July, and now she's saying there is no list. There are no crimes. There's nothing to see here. Except there is something to see. Because if there's no list, if there were no crimes, then why in the heck is Ghislaine Maxwell still sitting in prison? Why was she convicted in a court of law for sex trafficking if there's no evidence of it? So let's rewind a little bit, because Pam Bondi, before she became Trump's Attorney General, she was also the Florida Attorney General, the very same one that took $25,000 in donation from Trump's foundation. And word is that she actually called him up and asked for it. In exchange, surprise, surprise, she dropped the investigation into Trump University, leaving all of those people that were defrauded in Florida hanging. But let's fast forward again, because Bondi was also part of Trump's impeachment defense team. Remember that? And now that she's proven her loyalty to the Fuhrer, she lands the job of U.S. Attorney General. And what is she doing now? Well, now she's helping bury the Epstein list. I mean, you seriously cannot make this stuff up. And yes, Trump's own name appears multiple times in the Epstein documents. And we've already seen some of those guys. Some of those got released a while back. We saw flight logs, there were contact books, there were photos, there was video footage of interviews with the very president, the very same president, saying that, Jeffrey Epstein was a great guy. He was a really fun guy, that they had a really good time, that they loved beautiful women. And some were on the younger side. So please, 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 everybody, open your eyes. The time for blind loyalty is over. This is not someone who can now claim that he didn't know what Epstein was up to. Now, the extent of the complicity, well, that's what we all want to know. That's why the Epstein files need to be released. That's why the American public has a right and to demand to see the evidence in this case. Okay? Because whoever was complicit, whoever was participant in these activities needs to be held to account. And if the president has nothing to worry about because he didn't participate in any of those shenanigans, then why is he trying to hide the Epstein files? Why are they covering them up? Why are they trying to pretend that they're asking for transparency when what they're doing is essentially blocking us from seeing the truth? And this was reported by the Wall Street Journal, by Reuters. This has been in the news for a long time, guys. So what I do is whenever I'm looking at stories and I'm looking for factual information, I put down the links to my sources in the description of the video. Okay. So you can go to the description and check out the links and look at it yourself. But also you can Google it. Okay. We live in the age where information is pretty much accessible. You do have to vet it. So try to find, reliable sources. But the point being, it is out there, guys. And so what is Trump's response? What do you think? What does he usually do? Well, the first thing he's going to do is going to deny. The second thing he's going to do is going to file a lawsuit, which he has already done. The third thing he does is try to distract and blame other people and create other crises and scenarios. Now he's blaming former President Obama of treason, out of all things. I mean, for one thing, I am glad that somebody's actually putting the word out there, because what this entire Republican Party has been doing, treason, I believe that's what it is allegedly. I don't have all the documents and all the proof, but I can see the writing on the wall, guys. And the bottom line is that every time they make an accusation is actually a confession. Every time. Just look at the pattern, guys. If they say that somebody else is doing something, they're doing it themselves. And of course, it doesn't apply to former President Obama. I would love to see the evidence that shows that. Tulsi Gabbard is just trying to hold on to her job because, she messed up when she told the truth about what happened in Iran. And now she's got to make it up to the president. This is just very, very easy to see if you're paying attention. So look it up. You don't believe me? Don't believe me. Actually, don't believe me. Go and look it up. Go do your own research and see if you come to the same conclusion. He's now calling the entire Epstein scandal a Democrat hoax. Guys, I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. This is not a Democrat hoax, okay? First of all, you have the presidency. You have the House. You have the Senate. You have the Supreme Court. Lock down. Do not come at me with this is a Democrat hoax. Even your own followers are now saying, what the hell is going on here? Why isn't the Epstein list being released? Why are these files being hidden or blocked from the American public's view? Why? And if you're a MAGA supporter, or if you're a supporter of this president, then you got to be asking the question. The time for blind loyalty, it's over. Look at what's happening. And let me ask you something. Let's just go logic based, okay? If there's no list, then why did Trump's personal lawyer and Pam Bondi meet with Ghislaine Maxwell on behalf of the DOJ? Why? If there's no list, why are they talking to her? To find out what? Or is this one of those meetings where, you're going to get offered a pardon, where you're going to be telling the witness that, hey, you can give us a list, but just don't include, one name, and then you go home scot-free. Now, these are all speculations. So this is for entertainment purposes. I am not an attorney. I am not involved in any of these cases, so I'm not privy to any evidence. But this is me, a random American citizen, looking at this situation and logically putting two and two together, which you can do as well. Because the American people are not dumb. And we're tired of being treated like we are. If there were no crimes, then why are MAGA followers who were told the truth would come out now being gaslit and left hanging? Why were they told that there were all these crimes, that there was a list, that they were going to get all these people incarcerated, that they were going to expose all these people? The truth is that this is a betrayal. If I believed in him, I would be heartbroken, but I don't. So I'm going to call it what it is. It's a betrayal. Not just of the victims, not just of democracy, but of every single person who believed that justice still mattered, regardless of the political party. And I know that's rich, man. It's hard these days to say that or to even think that. I don't even allow myself to think that anymore. But I do want to believe that we, the American people, can wake up and say, hey, enough is enough. We want the truth and we want those files now. Because here's the thing. We don't care who's on the list. And if you ask any Democrat, we don't care who's on the list. And yes, by that I mean any Democrats that might be in there. Democrats, Republicans, billionaires, actors, anyone who hurt those girls, anyone who was complicit should be held accountable. And in that, man, come on, people. We should all come together and we should all agree on that. When the people in charge refuse to investigate themselves, when they erase evidence and silence survivors, that's not law and order, my friends. That's tyranny. This right here is the true weaponization of justice and the Department of Justice to protect who? The powerful. Those depraved, disgusting human beings that were part of this sex trafficking ring, that participated, whether they were helping in the logistics of making everything happen or whether they were participants and they actually used these little girls, used these young women as props, as sexual objects. This administration bamboozled you into believing that they cared about protecting children. Can't imagine. I've seen so many, all the movies, all the supposed Christians. I'm a Christian and I do not buy it. And the bottom line is that if you're a Christian, if you believe in protecting children, if you believe that these things are atrocious, then you have to stand up now. You can't look the other way just because, this is your president. And if you do, then you can't serve two masters, man. You cannot serve two masters. So figure it out. Because they said that they were going to expose all the pedophiles and the sexual abusers. But what we are witnessing today is the exact opposite. This administration is protecting the sexual predators and the perpetrators. And let me be clear, I give zero fucks. I loved President Bill Clinton. Loved him in the 90s. Thought he was great. He had that affair with Monica Lewinsky. To me, she was 22 years old. She wasn't a child. She was a young woman. He was still using his position of power, to impress an impressionable, 22-year-old. But she was a grown-up and she could make her own decisions. She gave her consent. Was it wrong? Was it appropriate? Not appropriate. But ultimately, to me, that's their business. That was Hillary's business with Bill Clinton. But if he's part of this sick ring, he can go down too. I don't care. I don't care what party they're from. I don't care if it's the Pope. Whoever is involved in this needs to be held to account. And you need to join us. You need to stand up for what you say you believe and not make any more excuses for this president, for this administration, and for the cowardice of the entire Republican Party when it comes to holding people to account. Because no one should be above the law. And I know that ship sailed when the Supreme Court said that the president essentially kind of is. There's caveats, but he kind of is. But no one should be above the law. No matter their wealth, their party, their platform. And just when the public pressure started to mount to investigate the Epstein file from his own followers, what does Speaker of the House Mike Johnson do? Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, who's constantly talking about, his Christian beliefs and, what the right thing is to do. What did he do? Not say, do. He abruptly canceled the House sessions, effectively blocking any vote that would have allowed an official congressional investigation into the matter. Now, this move raised alarm bells across both sides of the aisle, especially among advocates demanding that transparency for the victims of Epstein's abuse, be considered. Instead of facilitating justice, Johnson's cancellation has been seen as a deliberate stall tactic. They're trying to gather their wits. They're trying to figure out, how do we navigate this? How do we flip this? How do we flip the script on this? How do we secure witnesses? This is what's happening. Allegedly. This is a way of shielding powerful figures from scrutiny and delaying a reckoning that the American public has long awaited. And by that, I mean the entire American public. Republicans, Democrats, independents, agnostics, Christians, non-Christians. How can a democracy claim to serve the people if its leaders keep running from the truth? But here's the part that I want you to remember. Your outrage is sacred, and so is your discernment. So don't let them bury the truth in noise. Share this video. Share any video, any news clip that continues to bring up the Epstein files to keep the pressure on. Okay, guys, I know that was heavy and that was a lot. Today's spiritual anchor, what we're going to do is you're going to place your hand over your heart, right? You're going to close your eyes. And you can say this out loud or you can say this in your mind if you're in a public place. I do not fear the truth. I will not look away. Justice is not partisan. It is divine. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Tell me how you felt in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Also, if you like this exercise, save it so that you can come back to it whenever you want. Until the next time, this is when the shift hits, and the shift starts with you. Because when you shift, so does everything around you. Have a good one.